As a part of our biology summative today, my partner and I have chosen to do Pantanal. Pantanal was named the largest wetland in the world, and it is a very precious resource of Brazil. It is home to a variety of plant and animal species. In fact, up to 12 sub-regional ecosystems are located within it. To begin with, we will be defining some important terms needed to understand the purpose of this presentation. The terms include adaptation, morphological adaptation, behavioral adaptation, and physiological adaptation. Adaptation is a structural, behavioral, and physiological process which helps increase the chances of an organism's survival. Physiological adaptation is a structural feature that helps an organism fit into its particular environment. Behavioral adaptation is when organisms perform actions or do things which will help them survive. For example, mimicry. A monarch bird mimics a vicro bird so they both look alike. Birds avoid both and they're both able to adapt to their environment and pass on their genetic traits. Physiological adaptation allows the organism to perform special functions but also maintain general functions such as growth and development. We'll start off our presentation by mentioning the plant we chose from our wetland. The plant we chose was the strangler fig tree. This tree is the most famous hemipophyte. Its towering strangler fig starts its life as a tiny seed in the canopy. The roots of this tree go down into the forest where they obtain nutrients they need. The roots wrap around the host tree, widen, and then gradually form a lattice work around. This then can kill the host or the host tree. Since it is difficult for the seedling to grow in the rainforest because there is a lot of competition for water and nutrients, the figs climb the tree to obtain sunlight. Behavioral adaptation is that since there is competition, the fig wraps itself around the host tree so much that the tree cannot obtain sunlight or nutrients and appears as if the tree has been strangled. The tree eventually dies due to this. Overproduction, variation, competition, and selection are part of natural selection. Overproduction in this case. Many fig wasps are produced in the population. Figs only pollinate by fig wasps, which are only produced in fig flowers. Variation. The wasps that generate faster speed are able to reproduce in fig flowers. Female wasps need to find a cyclonium in which they lay their eggs within a few days, something that would not be possible if all the trees in a population flowered and fruited at the same time. Competition. Fig wasps that have access to flowers are able to lay their eggs. The figs that are able to pollinate from the fig wasp grow and obtain nutrients by strangling the host tree. Selection. The fig wasps that are able to adapt and survive into their environment are able to reproduce in the fig flowers and pass down the genetic traits. To continue, we will now be talking about our chosen fungi. AM is a fungus that penetrates the cortical cells of vascular plants. AM fungi help plants capture nutrients such as phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen, and micronutrients from the soil.
Morphological adaptation. The external hyphae of AM actively absorbs non-mobile nutrients from the soil and transportates them rapidly into the plant's roots. Physiological adaptation. AMF are known for their involvement in phosphorus absorption. This helps plants have many functional responses and increases growth in the plants. Overproduction. The AM fungi are distributed organisms with an extensive external structure that is likely to be under strong environmental selection. Variation. AM fungi show sufficient phenotypic variation and fitness differentials for selection to occur, more specifically, fungal traits related to the survival and performance in the soil for the host. Competition. AM fungus, which is able to respond to soil conditions such as pH, hypoxia, and temperatures, are able to adapt. Selection. The AM fungus that has survived provide the host with non-mobile chemicals. Now my partner and I will be talking about the animal we chose in this specific ecosystem. The animal we chose was the white lipid peccary. It is a hog-like creature found in Central and South America. They live on an average of 13 years They live in herds of 20 to 300 individuals that on average take up about 120 kilometers squared to fully function. These species are omnivorous and travel far to obtain foods, and they perform all activities during the day. Physiological adaptation. Since white-lipped pecaries travel in massive groups as a form of protection, they have a good sense of how healthy the forest is. If they separate, it is easy to find a pecarie that somehow got off track. This is done by scent glands they have on their backs. These glands emit a skunk-like scent that allows a strong bond between the members of the herd. With this scent, the herd stays intact and they are not susceptible to losing members of prey. Morphological adaptation. Their small shape and speed allow them to run away from predators. Physiological adaptation. If the scent does not help in gathering all the misled pecaries, the herd begins to utter loud wailing cries, which alarms the others to where they are. Behavioral adaptation. Other than humans, the precarious prey also includes a jaguar. Jaguars are nocturnal, which means they are more likely to hunt during the night. This is why white-lipped pecaries are primarily diurnal. They hunt for their food, for fruits, during the day. But, however, they do hunt around dusk and dawn sometimes. This adaptation helps the weak and sick pecaries in the herd to survive by not letting them be victims of the jaguar. Natural selection. For overproduction, white-lipped pecaries are known for their aggressive behavior and scent glands. To avoid being left behind, the white-lipped pecaries slowly have produced a scent that allows them to stay close to one another. This causes the overproduction of these types of species that inherit this type of trait. Variation. The overproduction led to variation within these species. When these pecaries reproduce, they will be able to have offspring with similar scent glands. With their scent glands and avoidance of prey by hunting in the morning are two variations that assist the species to survive their environment. Competition. These species compete for certain resources. However, when they lack fruits, they choose the secondary options such as leaves. The two main threats to their survival are deforestation and hunting. Destruction of the natural range causes loss of habitat, which can lead to exposure for poachers, who can easily kill many pecaries at a time. Those who are able to compete for the habitat and food will survive. Selection. Those who adapt to their surroundings best will be able to live and reproduce, passing down their traits to offspring.